Hey everyone, I am Mary Copeland. I'm your professor for the fall semester. And this is just a really brief overview of the class, where to go, what to do, a couple of things. I'm going to briefly touch on a few things on the syllabus. I do want to show you the book. So this is Ola Poppy, and we start reading this book next week. So you want to be sure and get the book sometime this week. We'll be doing some readings and writings from the book. And I list the ISBN number on the syllabus, so you'll be able to find it there. Other than that, I'm going to go straight to the class and we will go over a few things. So this is the home page. This is what you're going to see every time you open the class. You'll see a to-do list over on the right, and you'll see this welcome sign. I often change this up. You might see something new, a little quote or something. Couple of things I want to show you on this page, though, are, the class starts officially on the 16th. There's a course orientation module. We'll go to that in a minute. The one thing I want to point out is this is an 8-week class. It's almost like a summer class. So in a regular 16-week semester, you would be spending about 12 hours a week, 4 hours going to class, 8 hours a week of work. So that's about 12 total hours a week, and that's in a 16-week. So we have to do the same amount of work in half the time. So for this class, you're expected to do about 24 hours of work per week. That's going to vary. Some weeks less, some weeks more. When you get to start writing the research paper, you might be spending more because you're going to be doing some reading and then writing your research paper. So it all evens out in the end. Another thing I want to point out on the homepage is your to-do list. Canvas puts that there. It's a great reminder to do. But you don't want to go just by the to-do list because you'll get a little lost. All of the work is done in the modules, and so you can click on that. The reason you don't want to go just by the to-do list is a couple of reasons. One, like there's a quiz this week, but to be able to take the quiz, you have to read through the modules. So that's one thing. The other thing is that the discussions require 2 due dates. And Canvas only lists the second due date, the last due date. But for all the discussions that we do every week, you're expected to write your initial post on Thursday and then complete your discussion by responding to 2 people by Sunday. But Canvas only shows the final date there. So you want to just keep that in mind. So I'm going to go to the modules and show you where all the work is. So here's MLA information and resources. As we go through the class, we're going to be writing our papers in MLA. I give a lot of information, videos. We'll do some exercises in case you're not familiar with MLA, but there's a lot of resources here for you on that. Office hours and other help. So support services, I give links to the library, to the writing center, counseling, things like that. Office hours, here are links to my office hours that start next week. You can pop in anytime to ask a question, get help with an assignment. I will be online during those times. You can just click on the link during that time. So orientation, getting a great start. So I list what to expect. So you want to read that. I have a video. If you've never done an online class, you want to watch the video. I give some instructions on how to set your Canvas settings and notifications using Office 365. So you'll want to submit all of your essays in Microsoft Word. If you don't have Office 365 yet and set up your account, you'll want to do that so you'll have the ability to use Office 365. That can be a little wonky. You're supposed to automatically have an account as a student, but it doesn't always work. So students sometimes have to call the help desk or submit a ticket to get that going. So you want to get that started. Just a little something on Meet Me, and then meet your classmates. So This is just a brief assignment. Up here on the left, you'll see Meet Your Classmates. If you click on that, it's just a place to post a little picture of yourself, tell the class something. It's just kind of a way for all of us to get to know each other. You can actually click the heart and like other people's, but you just click that little plus sign, upload a picture. You can upload a picture of yourself. You can upload a picture of something that represents you, your dog, your cat. It's kind of fun to see pictures of each other. So we just like we would in a physical classroom. So I started with mine. You'll want to get that done. But you'll want to go through and read each of these yourself for getting a great start. Read about Meet Your Classmates and the syllabus. I'm going to go over the syllabus more in a minute. Here's our first week's, getting into the meat of, an essay. What's an essay? What does it mean? There's actually a little lecture on writing effective thesis statements, and then a quiz, and then a discussion. So the discussion is in preparation for our first essay, which I'll give that assignment next week, and then you'll have 2 weeks to write the essay. Essays, you always have 2 weeks to write. The research paper, you'll have about 6 weeks. The other thing I'll go over briefly is the syllabus. I'm not going to touch on everything. I know the syllabus can be kind of boring, but there are a couple things that I think are important. Important dates. So these are the drop dates. Because this is a compressed class, you should try to know pretty quick if you feel like you're going to be able to commit the time so that you could drop without a W. But those dates are listed there. The last day of class is October the 8th. That'll be our final exam. Our final research papers due that day. But the other things, the description, learning outcomes, I've already told you about how much time this class will take. So computer crashes, technical emergencies, you want to read that in case, this is an online class, so online hiccups are bound to happen. And so the key here is communication, whether it's your computer that is acting up, whether it's Canvas that is acting up, maybe the power goes out, there's a million things that can happen. So you want to be sure to communicate with me, email me, let me know what's going on. And that's the same with my late work policy. Typically, I don't accept late work, but I also understand that life happens. So, what you want to do is provide some reasonable documentation on why you can't submit an assignment. And then we'll figure something out that works for both of us. Because I do understand that life happens, you got to take your kid to the doctor or something like that. So just let me know what's going on and we will try to work something out. But it's really on a case-by-case basis, and once or twice during the semester, totally understandable. But if you're having a constant problem turning in assignments on time, then, that's something we want to talk about as well. Discussion guidelines, that's something that you want to be sure to read before you do the first discussion. You have minimum word links that you want to take note of for your initial post, for your peer response posts, things like that. Etiquette. So you want to go over those rules, but it's really about being kind and respectful to everybody, even people that have different opinions than you. That's great. That's how we learn, but we always are respectful. So you're responsible for knowing all of this. And so you want to click on those and read over them. College level material. So this class does cover what some people might call PG or R-rated material. I think our book, Ola Poppy, is definitely on the side of R-rated. So, but that's my opinion. Everybody has their opinion on even what that means, right? But, if that kind of thing makes you uncomfortable, then you might want to pick a different class. I'm not able to change the assignments. based on that. So just something to think about. Grading, the grading is pretty straightforward. I don't grade on a point system. I grade on a weighted system. So like the first essay is only worth 5% of your grade, the second essay, 10% essay, so the weight goes up. So that's because I feel like there's a learning curve. So if you don't do well on the first essay, you can do well, you can improve your work. I do allow revisions on some essays because I feel like that is also how you learn. Other than that, I'm just going to go back to the homepage. I don't think I have anything really specific, click around, become familiar with the class. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great semester.